The film begins with two men named Danny Ocean and Rusty, who are the masterminds of a theft syndicate that has roamed America without ever failing. One day, they receive news that their friend Reuben is hospitalized in critical condition. Hearing this, Danny is deeply saddened because he has regarded Reuben as both a friend and a mentor. At the same time, Rusty is also saddened as he greatly respects Reuben. Due to Reuben's severe condition, Danny gathers his team to provide support and encouragement to him. A month earlier, Danny had warned Reuben not to engage in business with a businessman named Willie Bank, who was known for being deceitful and often betraying his friends. However, Reuben chose to think positively and ignored the warning, believing that the business venture had great potential. Eventually, Reuben met with Willie to make a deal. At that moment, he had complied with all of Willie's demands, but Danny's warning proved true as Willie was untrustworthy. After investing a substantial amount of money, Willie suddenly removed Reuben from the business, and worse, the money invested could not be returned. This betrayal caused Reuben to suffer a stroke out of sheer anger. Upon hearing the story behind Reuben's stroke, everyone, including Danny and his friends Livingston, Basher, Yen, Virgil, Linus, Turk, Rusty, Frank, and Saul, were deeply saddened and outraged. Initially, they wanted to immediately send Willie to the afterlife, but Frank suggested they first try to resolve the issue peacefully by talking to Willie and giving him a chance to return Reuben's rightful share. Not long after, Danny met with Willie privately, but the greedy Willie refused to give back what was rightfully Reuben's. Consequently, a revenge plan was set in motion, where Danny, Rusty, and Reuben devised the sweetest way to destroy Willie. Together, they strategized the most effective and elegant way to ruin Willie's reputation and power, ensuring that justice was served and Reuben's betrayal was avenged. Apparently, their plan would be executed during the grand opening of Willie's hotel and casino. Besides wanting to become wealthy, Willie also aspired for his newly built hotel to receive a 5-diamond award. Willie's dream of obtaining the 5-diamond award highlights his ambition to provide an unforgettable stay for his guests. Every detail in the design and service of his new hotel was meticulously planned to ensure that each visitor experienced true luxury. Additionally, Willie believed that luck was always on his side, a belief further reinforced by his stellar track record in the hospitality industry. To crush Willie's ego, the Ocean Syndicate must thwart the 5-diamond award that Willie is set to receive. Because of this, Rusty collaborates with Debbie to handle Fender, the judge responsible for assessing the quality of the hotel and casino. Before Fender arrives, Danny and Rusty prepare his room so that when Fender checks in, he will be miserable during his stay. Danny and Rusty rely not only on luck, but also on their expertise in planning intricate strategies. They are confident that by disrupting Fender, they can alter the evaluation results that would otherwise favor Willie. Behind this scheme lies their ambition to destroy Willie's grand plan and to ensure that their reputation as masters of planning and execution remains intact. With unwavering determination and unmatched cunning, Danny, Rusty, and Debbie are ready to launch their final attack to turn the tide and secure the success of their operation. On the other hand, Willie and Abigail work hard to ensure that their hotel not only meets but exceeds the expectations of every guest, including Saul, who is disguised as an evaluator. They even provide luxurious service to Saul, ensuring that every detail of his stay is impressive and unforgettable. From free passes to skip the check-in line to extra attention in every aspect of service, Willie and Abigail hope that all these efforts will positively influence Saul's evaluation. Although Willie feels satisfied with all his efforts to ensure the quality of his hotel service, he remains curious about Saul's evaluation. For him, the 5-diamond award is not just a symbol of prestige, but also a recognition of the dedication and commitment that Willie and Abigail have invested in building and managing the hotel. Every detail of their strategy and efforts, along with their team, is aimed not only at achieving financial goals, but also at proving that they can compete internationally in the competitive hospitality industry. Eventually, Saul and Willie have a conversation, pretending not to discuss the hotel evaluation, while Fender, the real judge, feels very uncomfortable staying at Willie's hotel. In the end, Virgil and Turk, who are disguised, kick Fender out of the hotel. To bankrupt Willie, the Ocean Syndicate also rigs the casino games so that all the gamblers win big. To rig the roulette and dice games, the Ocean Syndicate sends Virgil directly to the factory that makes the dice and roulette balls in Mexico, with the plan for Virgil to insert polymer into the dice and balls so they can be controlled with magnets. This way, they hope to control the outcomes of the dice and roulette games in the casino, ensuring huge wins for the gamblers planned by the Ocean Syndicate. While taking a break with fellow workers, Virgil's fighting spirit suddenly emerges, and he states that they should receive fair wages. Because of his statement, the workers go on strike demanding higher wages, causing the dice and roulette ball factory to halt operations, threatening the Ocean Syndicate's plan. To quell the protest, Danny plans to send Virgil's brother, namely Turk, to Mexico. However, instead of making peace, Turk provokes the protesters with Molotov cocktails, causing the situation to become even more chaotic. Fortunately, there is information from a local journalist that the workers only demand a wage increase totaling about $100,000 per week, and it turns out that low wages in one country are a luxury in another. So, the Ocean Syndicate sends a check to resolve the issue, and the factory eventually resumes operations. On the other hand, specifically for the roulette game, Frank will act as the dealer, collaborating with David, the roulette game manager. Shortly after, David was successfully negotiated by Danny because David likes to steal golden spoons and forks from Willie's hotel. With convincing words, Frank manages to pique Willie's interest. However, it doesn't reach the point where Willie wants to recruit Frank, and that's when Terry comes in to challenge his ego. With his ego challenged, Willie immediately allocates a spot for Frank in his casino. Danny initially didn't want to involve Terry, but since they needed money, Terry was invited to join. Equipped with sophisticated tools, Frank begins working as a roulette dealer. After the dice and roulette games, the team move on to blackjack game that requires a card shuffling machine, so Livingston is sent to tamper with the machine. Unfortunately, he repeatedly fails to hack the machine despite numerous attempts. Feeling stuck and frustrated, Livingston confides in Reuben. Since the machine cannot be tampered with at all, they decide on an impromptu plan to remove all blackjack machines so no players can use them. Because of this, Danny sends the FBI to arrest Livingston in front of Willie. This makes Willie suspicious that all the machines have been rigged to benefit the players. As a result, he orders all machines to be removed from the casino and instructs his men to look for Livingston's associates through fingerprints on the machines. This is a very serious issue because all members of the Ocean Syndicate will be exposed to Willie. And this sudden problem requires quick improvisation to solve. To prevent Willie from getting the Syndicate's profile data, Basher has a trick. He disguises himself as a motorcyclist performing at the main event and then heads to Willie's office. Next, another game they need to rig is the jackpot machine. The jackpot machine operates on a pattern controlled by a computer. So, Danny approaches a young man named Eugene, who is very skilled at hacking national data computers, while Virgil and Turk are tasked with installing chips and explosives so that the jackpot computer data network can be hacked. The action continues with Rusty planning a way to hack Willie's highly sophisticated casino security system. This security system uses AI to detect if a gambler is winning honestly by monitoring heart rate, eye movement, and body temperature. This system was designed by Greco, Roman's school friend since kindergarten. However, Greco's computer has a weakness that it shuts down completely for about 3 minutes during a natural disaster. So, these 3 minutes are planned to be utilized for the gamblers to win big. Not long after, Danny and Rusty buy a large drill that can shake the ground to make Greco's computer think there's an earthquake. At the same time, Rusty disguises himself as a scientist to convince Willie that an earthquake is imminent, leading Willie to agree to temporarily shut down his business. However, Willie is furious because he is asked to close his business before the grand opening has even taken place. For the sake of formality, Willie agrees to install an earthquake monitor, which is actually a camera to spy on his office. However, the large drill breaks down a few days later, and without the drill, the plan to shut down the casino's security system fails. They need to buy a new drill, but they have already spent all their money on executing their plan. Fortunately, Linus suggests borrowing money from Terry, who despises Willie. Hearing this, Terry agrees to lend the money on the condition that the Ocean Syndicate steals Willie's beloved diamond necklace. Unfortunately, the diamond necklace is stored in a room that is extremely difficult to penetrate. Because of this, Linus and Yin disguise themselves as billionaires from a bamboo curtain country to gain access to a special room below the diamond storage room. From there, Yin infiltrates to gather information about the wall's strength and its operational system. However, the walls of the diamond storage room are too thick to penetrate from below. The Ocean Syndicate tries another approach, But that plan also fails due to the same difficulty, and the diamond storage room can only be accessed by Willie and Abigail. When Abigail's name is mentioned, Linus immediately volunteers for the mission because he feels he has chemistry with Abigail. The team then supports Linus's plan to seduce Abigail to gain access to the diamond room. Sometime later, it turns out that the FBI agent who arrested Linus and Livingston earlier is Linus's father, who really is an FBI agent, a clever plan between father and son. Linus and his father's task are complete, and Linus is about to leave by helicopter, but while in the air, Terry betrays them. The diamonds were supposed to be for the Ocean Syndicate members, but Terry also steals the diamonds by ordering his men. Fortunately, the betrayal was anticipated, so the diamonds given were fake. In the end, the Ocean Syndicate gets all the diamonds, and this event leaves Terry, the traitor, and Willie very upset. At the same time, Willie's pride is shattered because the 5 diamond necklace awards are gone. In the casino room, all tricks are put into action, with the entire syndicate, including a now healthy Reuben, at the gaming tables. Frank, who is the dealer, and David, who oversees the games, spring into action, and the gamblers must win big to bankrupt Willie and close his casino, leaving him in significant debt. The earthquake machine is eventually able to be turned on, shaking everything. Because of this, Willie panics and rushes into Greco's computer room to ensure all security measures are still functioning. While in the computer room, Willie receives a phone call that triggers the server to crash. Shortly thereafter, the earthquake machine is activated once again, because if left running, the gamblers would become too comfortable playing, which could attract unwanted attention from the casino's management. At that moment, Willie realizes that he has lost and is overwhelmed with pain and shame. Danny then arrives and metaphorically rubs salt and vinegar into Willie's wounds, making them even more painful. After that, the Ocean's family gathers once again, this time in sweet victory. Additionally, Reuben has recovered from his stroke. Everyone is wealthy again with the sale of the diamonds totaling 10 trillion, plus the winnings from Willie's casino games. As compensation for Fender, the mistreated judge, Rusty, gives him a jackpot coin. The film then ends. Moral lesson from the story: if you ignore your friend's warnings and trust a shady businessman, you might end up with a stroke and a heist crew plotting revenge. Remember, when in doubt, listen to your buddies, or you might end up funding their casino busting adventure.